So look, if you want to grow your wealth, your income, and increase the amount of time off, then these are the shortcuts that can help. Welcome to the Wealth Creation Podcast.
In this live stream or podcast, if you're listening to that, I want to talk to you about why you should be producing more content that gets published every single day. And there's a number of reasons why you should be doing that, and I'll go through them one by one. But before I do that, I just want to cover some of the experiences that we've had through an increase in the amount of content and what we've kind of settled on and how that's worked for us so far. So I think you find this quite interesting. If you're in business or you want to be in business, you need to understand the level of content that you actually need to be putting out there in order to get some traction. Now, before we talk about traction, I want to talk about views and engagement, because for me, one of the most important metrics is, out of views and engagement, the most important metric is profit. That's it. You know, I see people talking about, oh, we're not getting any views, we're not getting any likes, we're not getting any comments, I'm going to stop posting. It's like, well, first up, your number of views and likes doesn't pay the bills, right? You know, you can't pay your gas bill with, well, I got 14 likes last week, so I'll pay with, how much is the bill? 12 likes, I'll pay with that. You can't do that. The thing that's going to pay your bills is your ability to make money. And the only reason why we produce content is because it becomes part of your marketing funnel and it generates cash at the back end. Now, it might be that your content, you know, we have a sheep shearer, for example, as one of our clients, and they make money through YouTube views. You know, they have a video that's got like 1 million views, for example, they make money off that. And I'm not saying also that that's the way that you should be, the only reason you should be producing content. We don't make money off our views. We don't even get that many views. And this is the point, right? We don't get that many views. We don't need to get a lot of views. All our money comes in at the back end, where people see us constantly. I was talking to a client yesterday, and he was explaining that he's seen me for years and finally decided to sign up. So the sales cycle for that particular client was many, many years. And you don't have to be making money directly off streams. It's what's in your back end, what's in your sales and marketing funnel. And it's that stuff that's going to actually make you your money, not necessarily you streaming every day. Or you do need to stream every day, and you need to be producing content every day. And, you know, for us, the ideal amount is 3 to 4 pieces of scheduled content, and then ideally a live stream. And for us right now, that is working absolutely at the best. And the reason why this is at the forefront of my mind is I've just spent the last half an hour looking at our scheduling. We're a little bit behind, actually. So we're scheduled up to Monday, and we've got content all lined up ready for Monday. And then after that, we haven't got anything. So, and in fact, one of the reasons for going live right now is because I've been live only once this week, which is not good enough, frankly. And we should be going live more because the more that people see you, the more they get to know you, the more that it breaks down those barriers to getting them to do something like, you know, sign up for a strategy call or buy something or whatever that's going to be. But also, if we only live stream once a week, we have no podcast that goes out. A podcast should have gone out yesterday, didn't go out. So this stream will get turned into a podcast that will go out tonight. But also from this live stream, we're able then to pull out little short pieces of content. I don't know why I do that. Little short pieces of content that then get scheduled out into next week. And so I'm more than happy to share how we do this. So what we do is we'll live stream, we'll pull out little 30 seconds to 59 seconds worth of content, and then we'll take that and then we'll schedule that into our scheduling software next week. So, for example, this is how it works. So, and I'm just looking at my other screen here. So, 9 a.m. Spanish time, because I'm in Spain, it's usually 8 a.m. UK time. There's a piece of content that will go out. It's usually 30 seconds to 59 seconds, less than a minute, because it goes into the shorts, which helps on YouTube views and that kind of thing. But that will go out at 9 a.m. Another similar type of video, obviously talk about something else, but another similar type of video will also go out at 5 p.m. So that's 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., 2 short form pieces of video. It looks just like this, quite frankly. That's what happens there. And then the other piece of content is at 2 o'clock. We've usually got a video with a bit of text on it that says read caption. And if you look through my timeline, don't do it now, do it after. If you look through my timeline, you'll see exactly what we mean by that. And then also, we have another one of those that goes out at 9 p.m. And the one that normally goes out at 9 p.m., 8 p.m. UK time, that's usually product related, and it's got something to do, and it's got a call to action, which is basically buy our stuff. And so those 4 pieces of content is actually what's working for us in my industry, in my market, for my business, with this personality and this face and this voice. That's what's actually working for us right now. Now, yours might be completely different. And I hear people going, oh, no, 4 pieces of content. I won't do my nerdy voice. 4 pieces of content, that's far too many. I like to do 4 pieces a week. Sounds more like Kermit, doesn't it? But this is the thing. 4 pieces of content a week, it's like it's not even going to move the needle. You know, if you're doing 4 pieces a day, that's 28 pieces of content that you're going to give someone an opportunity to see that you actually exist. And this is like 99% of the battle, folks, in marketing is people knowing that you actually exist. Forget about conversion, forget about getting views and likes. Just literally, as somebody's scrolling through their Instagram feed, their TikTok feed, their Facebook feed, their Twitter feed, their LinkedIn feed, people need to see that you exist. That's it. 99% of marketing, folks, is people knowing that you exist. And also, 99% of people don't want your stuff. And I know that comes as a massive shock to people. Oh, no, everybody should need my stuff. I sell wills. Everybody needs a will. No, they don't. Not everybody needs a will. Most people haven't got anything to pass on when they pass away. They just don't. It's just a fact of it. Yeah, having a will, that's a wonderful thing. And yeah, I agree. Everybody should have a will. But 99% of people haven't got a will, never going to get a will, not interested in having a will. They just want to watch Love Island or go on holiday or whatever it is, right? Most people are not interested in what you do. And so you've got to get out in front of the people that are interested in what you do. And the downside of that is 99% of us just are not interested in what you do. And so that's the difficulty. Oh, no, I don't want to go live every day because that's far too much for my clients, because my clients are very special. They don't want to be overwhelmed with your shiny face, Dan. So my clients, they like me to go live once a week. How the heck do you know that? It's bullshit. How do you know? You're just making it up because you can't be bothered going live. And let's just go back to that for a second. The bit that I said just a few moments ago, which is most people do not know that you exist. And the whole point of you going live and the whole point of you producing content is people go and they look at you and they go, who's that twat? Right? That's what needs to happen. People need to see you and start recognizing you. And it's really weird. I was saying this in a coaching call with a client earlier today. You walk into a room and people are like looking at you. Like, I think I know that guy. And it's really weird when you're the guy that they're looking at you a bit weirdly at, because they kind of recognize you. And I've had it. I've gone to networking events, you walk in a room, people come up to you, and you're like, oh my God, it's Dan. We had a guy and he started shaking because it's me. I'm like, dude, it's just me. Just relax, you know. It's a bit weird, but it means that it works. That's what it means. If that happens, you walk in a room and people already know who you are. Or we had another one where a lady came up to me and we were chatting. And then she said, your voice sounds really familiar. And she looked at my name badge and then she went, oh my God, it's you. Because she listened to the podcast, which doesn't have it's not a video podcast, it's an audio podcast. So this stuff happens. People can't do business with you unless they know you exist. They can't buy from your business unless they know that your business exists. And that's all marketing really is how do you get people to know that you actually exist, that your business exists? How do you get them to know what products and services you've got and how you can transform their lives if they've never heard of you? Well, you can't. It's very, very difficult to do. This is why we run ads. The only reason we run ads is to get people who do not already know us to get to know us, and then hopefully they're going to like it, they're going to join the Facebook group, they're going to subscribe to the podcast, they're going to click like, they're going to start seeing my stuff more regularly. That's the only reason we do it. So you've got to get in front of more people, and the only way really, especially on a budget, like, yeah, you can run some Facebook ads and you can, throw some money at it, and if you want to know how to do that, we can help you, of course. But for most people who've not got the budget for that, you think about this, right? 99% of people don't know who you are. 99% of people haven't got the budget for what you're selling. Like, this is my customers. 99% of people don't know who I am. 99% of people haven't got the budget. So it's like, well, if we're a digital marketing agency, if they've not got the budget to deal with our Facebook ads and our funnel building stuff, what can they do? Well, you should be live streaming every day. You should be pulling out little short pieces of content. And if you don't know how to do that, go find our content creation machine, details everything step by step. I think it's like 27 quid or 17 quid, and it's on the website. Go take a look. But you can learn how to do this, and it doesn't have to cost you anything. This is the beauty. I got a new phone last week, Ultra S25 from Samsung. Thank God, it's such a wonderful piece of kit. Anyway, you don't need much. Like right now, I'm live streaming on my old phone, and it's got a very nice Rode microphone, by the way. It's probably why the sound sounds so good. But that's it. It's on a tripod. I've got a camera. I've got a microphone. Yeah, I'm in my house, but even if you're homeless, you could still film it in the park, walking along the street, whatever, right? You don't need a lot of stuff in order to live stream. And I ask people, why are you not live streaming? Why are you not taking that little bit of content, putting it into little short videos, and then posting and scheduling that out? Why are you not doing that? And usually it's not money, the reason why. They don't know how to do it. They can't be bothered doing it. And I understand that. It is really time consuming. I actually do. And I was explaining this to a coaching client just a few hours ago, actually. I actually do all my own scheduling. I create content like this live stream. I personally break this down into small little bite-sized chunks. I put subtitles on it, and then we schedule that out. And I'm personally scheduling all this content. I personally do that. And it's like, why are you doing that when you've got a whole team available for you? And first up, the team is there for our clients, number one. And number two, I've got to have my finger on the pulse. I need to know the heartbeat of the business. And the only way for me really to do that is to be the one that goes through all the scheduling. And then when I'm doing that, I'm always looking at the analytics, seeing what works and what doesn't. And by the way, I said this right at the start, the analytics are going to lie to you. Not because the analytics are wrong, but because you might put out a piece of content, you might get 4 views, and you think, oh my gosh, I've only got 4 views. I'm never doing that again. It's so embarrassing. And those 4 views, one of those people are the people that actually buys from you. You don't need thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of views like our sheep shaving client we mentioned before. You just need a couple of views to the right audience. It's going to build up credibility. It's going to build up trust. They're going to do the whole KLTAC thing. They're going to know, like, and trust the KLT. They're going to see your authenticity, and then they're going to see your consistency. This is one of the reasons I'm kicking myself. It's Friday. I'm like, oh my gosh, we've only live streamed once. And really, can I be bothered live streaming right now? No. I've got other things I want to do. I'm going to crank up the Xbox. It's a Friday afternoon. I've had some marshmallows earlier. I'm just having a day off. Do you know what I mean? Like an afternoon off. Going to crank up Call of Duty. But I didn't have the live stream. So we had to film the live stream, which is what this is. Then that gives me content. Then we're going to sit down tomorrow and start scheduling out that content after it's been put into smaller chunks. So I know that you're busy. I am busy as well. If you saw my email inbox, if you saw my calendar, the number of strategy sessions that we have with clients and potential clients, pretty busy, you know, but we're in a growth phase of our business, just like I imagine you're in a growth phase of your business. And if you're not, you need to be putting out more content. But the more content that you're able to cobble together and start putting that out, the better that's going to be for you. Now, some of the things that we do. So, for example, in one of the coaching calls I had today, I used a little bit of software just to transcribe everything that I said. And then when we've got that down, I can ask AI just to go through and highlight some of the good bits in it and then pull out small chunks. And those smaller chunks are then what we can then turn into a Facebook post and a LinkedIn post. We create a little image or a little video, and then that gets scheduled out as well. Like literally everything that we do should be scheduled out in some form or another. So if I'm having a chat with somebody and I'm talking about business or Forex, we made 450 pips, by the way, on the 1st of April because Donald Trump managed to screw up the New York Stock Exchange, which was wonderful, and all the Forex stuff. Like that right there, that incident, really, I should be live streaming about that because we knew what was coming, right? We knew everything was going to crash on the next day. It was pretty obvious, you know. Like I saw an advert for 9/11, and it's a film, and the guy saw the plane hit 9/11 at the first tower. And then he's like, oh, I think it's a terrorist attack. Let's short everything. I don't know what the film was. It's just one of those 1-minute clips that I saw. the 1 minute clips that I'm saying that you guys do as well. And then they started shorting everything. They were down £1 million to begin with. And then the second plane hit the second twin tower, and then they went up to like 90 million quid because the whole market shorted and lost billions of pounds, as you probably remember. But we know that events are going to happen like the Trump one. So I put some money on Forex, made 450 pips, £10 a pip. That's not bad. It's quite a decent amount, I suppose. But we knew that was going to happen. Like, that should be a live stream. Something happens in your life, you can talk about it. There's other little bits within that you can then talk about. You can then pull out little short videos. And you might be going, well, Dan, nothing really exciting happens in my life. Nothing that exciting happens in my life. Went out for coffee this morning for a couple of hours, took the dog, chased after birds. Like, it's nothing that exciting happened for me either. But stuff still happened. Or we might help a client on how to resolve a particular problem. And it's like, actually, that bit of insight, that bit of knowledge might help other people solve a similar type of problem in their business as well. Let's live stream about that. Let's create a little bit of short form content about that. You should be looking for minimum 3 to 4 pieces of content every single day. So we've got 4 pieces of content. It's all pre-scheduled. I then live stream. Like, ideally, it's supposed to be every day, but it never happens every day. Not these days. You kind of get burnt out from live streaming, by the way. So you just have to watch that. Could be just me, of course. But that's 5 pieces of content a day. And then usually when I wake up, I've got something in my mind that's running through my head. And I'm like, no, I just need to get that down. Sometimes we'll just put that out on Facebook. Often we'll go to Content Planner and we'll schedule that out across Facebook and LinkedIn. Sometimes Twitter, but it's only got a short number of characters. We'll upload an image and then put that post out onto Instagram as well. You can only upload that with an image, of course. So the image is like 3 words, 4 words or something. Just an image so we can get the piece of content out onto Instagram. So sometimes we'll end up with 5, 6, 7 or 8 pieces of content, depending on what's going on. But a lot of the time, there's content that we do is pre-scheduled out. And then when stuff is happening, like the Forex thing that happened, I actually went and posted. We made 450 pips this morning, thanks to Donald Trump and his tariffs, which is all very interesting. And by the way, do you think if you're going to live stream about Donald Trump and tariffs and how that's going to impact your business, think you might get some views on that? Yeah, absolutely. And actually, we probably missed a trick. We should have been live streaming all day about the ridiculousness of it all. Like, you're going to get views because that's what people are wanting to watch. And this is the thing. People are interested in what you think of an event. So I see this. I see a lot of faceless channels on Instagram, and the people that run those faceless channels, they're always selling a course on how to run a faceless channel. And it was talking about, and I can't remember who it was, but let's just say it was Taylor Swift. How to make thousands of pounds from Taylor Swift. And you talk about something that Taylor Swift did, or Elon Musk, or Donald Trump, or who else have we got? David Cameron, who's the Prime Minister right now? God, what's he called? Keir Starmer. I couldn't think of his name. That's how popular he is, I suppose. I actually think Labour's doing an all right job, quite frankly. I mean, you could talk about that. You're going to get thousands of views. You come out and say Labour's doing a great job. Oh, my gosh, you're going to be in the news because all these people will vehemently disagree, right? But you could say water's wet and people vehemently disagree. So you can pick all these different topics and how those relate to your business and, the difference there. For example, when I was at the coffee shop this morning, my estate agent called and she had an offer for me. It's on at 165. We had an offer at 170, but it's 2 flats separated, and it should be sold to an investor, and she's not an investor, and then we'd have to evict these tenants, and then the buyer pulls out, and the whole thing falls through. So then I lose thousands of pounds of revenue. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. We're only going to sell to an investor. That right there is a wonderful live stream about something that actually happened while I was sat at a coffee shop, and it's real life. You should be out there live streaming, and then once you've got that live stream, then you can pull out all the short little snippets and you can get those out as well. Then, when you've done all that, then you go and pull out the MP3, you upload that to Spotify and Amazon and iTunes. Now you've got your podcast show as well. And we close business from our podcast show. People find us on our podcast show. So this is what happens. They go, I want to listen to a new podcast. I want to listen to someone in the UK talking about property or digital marketing. They type that into their little iPhone and up pops one of my podcasts. They go, I don't know who this Northern Monkey is, but I'm going to listen to him. And then they listen to me and go, God, he sounds like that, but actually saying some good stuff. Then they go and search me on Google. Then they find the YouTube channel. Then they find the LinkedIn and the Twitter and the Facebook and the website, of course, and all the other pieces of content that we've done. I think we're up to 952 podcast shows over the last 10 years. Imagine doing 1,000 podcasts, by the way. It's a phenomenal amount. We make money off that. And we don't make money because we directly make money from people listening. We make money because people follow all the way through the sales and marketing funnel. Then they book a strategy call and they go, I don't know how you do it, Dan. You look like that. You sound like that, but you've got successful business. I want to learn how to do that. And they will either buy one of our training courses or they will ask us to create their Facebook ads and their landing pages and create their content and write the long form and send out emails and all the other stuff that we do, which is a lot. And so that's how we actually make money. And this is exactly the same as it is for you. I don't care what business you're in, what industry you're in. You might be a butcher. I always use butchers for some reason. Selling a leg of lamb. Should you have a podcast? Hell yes. Can you do short videos? Absolutely. Can you do recipe ideas for this leg of lamb? Which wine goes with it? Potatoes and green beans. I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff. But you could do that. If you're in the knitting industry, could you talk about the latest pattern, which is the Bluey, you know, the dog on Disney, the latest Bluey pattern that you can knit your grandkids. Like, you've got all these different things that you can do, that you can create content on. And it's just that you haven't either got the time, you haven't got the money, which is a bullshit excuse because, as we said, you need a mobile phone and that's it, right? We've all got mobile phones these days. Or the biggest one is that you're a little bit nervous about going live stream and that kind of thing. Hang on while I just grab a quick drink. Now, I'm going to run the risk of looking at some of the comments here. Shea Gilgus Alexander for 3. And that's it. That was literally the comment that I had. That's wonderful. Thank you very much. Yeah, he's never going to be MVP, however. Not while you've got all these other guys from Eastern European playing in the NBA. Anyway, content. This is the sort of content that you need to be producing. Not just face to video, but a how-to. Like, get someone to follow you around for a day. Live stream, interview somebody on a live stream. I had a trial run just a few days ago because I'm on somebody else's podcast. Just so happens to be one of our clients. Anyway, but I'm going on their podcast in a few weeks' time. And so we had to have a conversation around that, you know, getting all the technical setup and making sure we knew what we're talking about and all that kind of thing. But you could easily ask other people in your industry or other industries that complement what you already do. And you could go, hey, Bob, I'm looking for guests to be interviewed about business growth. Do you want to come on, chat about your business? I'll have a little thing at the bottom that says, you know, such and such accountancy or whatever your business is. Why don't you come on? I just want to interview you. And how many interviews could you do in a day? Could you do 2 interviews in a day that each last 30 minutes? Just 30 minutes, doesn't have to be very long. Of course. And then what do you think Bob is from the accountancy is going to do? Do you think Bob might share the stream? Do you think he might share all of that out with his audience across his socials as well? Absolutely. So now you're reaching a bigger audience as well. So this is the thing. Marketing is about getting you in front of as many eyeballs as possible. And the more people that know you exist, the more people can actually buy from you. But unless you're putting yourself out there, that's not going to work very well. Okay, I hope you find that useful. Nice quick one there today. I say that's 25 minutes. Where did that time go? We got stuff to do. I'm lining up a Call of Duty session for the next hour. It's been a busy week. I just need to switch off, and I'm so looking forward to the weekend.
Hey, it's Dan here. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Please click like or subscribe to the entire podcast.